Hey folks, welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be playing some sim battles as Japan at top tier, and I'm going to be doing live comms, just talking you through the shit that I'm doing as I'm doing it. Main aim of today is to mostly fly the R2Y2 because I'm trying to grind for the T2. Currently I'm grinding the Key 200, I've got all of the R2Y2s, I just need to buy them all basically, but I might as well grind out some of the Japanese high tier stuff whilst I'm making the SL. So we've let the engine spool up a bit. If you try and take off straight away, then the engines can have uneven power because one switches on before the other, and it leads to some yaw issues on takeoff. I mean, you can easily counter it, but I'm in no massive rush. I think the longer I delay takeoff, the more likely the enemy team is to not be looking at the air anymore because they'll have already done their scan. Once I've got wheels up, I'm going to lower the game volume a bit so you can actually hear me, because I can foresee there being audio balancing issues. Sound. That's good, like, that'll do. I'm kind of triggering my own OCD by leaving it on 51, but I didn't want to wait too long to finagle it to 50. Okay, on the map they are capping B. B is the closest smoke plume to us, which means that it would be that blue one right there. The other one is over there next to the big ass mound of rock, or whatever the hell those things even are. Question now is, are they actually still on the cap, or have they just driven through it to decap? We're already at a numbers disadvantage. People just tend to J out and quit when they get this map because they hate it. I mean, I hate it as well, but if you take up piloting in sim, then you can just fly if you don't like the map on the ground, because the map in the air is kind of irrelevant really in a lot of cases. The only thing that really changes is how much foliage and stuff there is that makes picking out targets a little bit more tricky. I can see a tank down there, but I'm not sure if it's... Let's swoop in for a closer look.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
You can hear a heli as well. What is that? I don't know, I lost sight of it. Oh, fuck my life, it was a shotgun. Oh my god, man, see, that's so annoying. If I had just bombed him, I'd have been fine, but I had to double fucking guess myself and assume it was a fucking friend. That plan wanted to come along for the ride for a minute there. I think we're capping B back. Right, so Type 90 with the gun parallax, if you watched my video the other day, standard range, once you've got the accuracy mods, is 1050 metres. It used to be 1000, but then the ammo changes added 50 metres onto it for some reason. I can't actually get it on 1000 anymore because the mouse wheel sensitivity doesn't let me. Ooh, smoke got popped to the left. Despite the Type 90 fighting on the team of NATO, it's one of the few NATO vehicles that actually has the gun sight on the left, like the Russian tanks. So if you do take it up into a match, then be wary of having to aim to the left rather than the right, as it can throw you off, and it's caught me out quite a handful of times. Upside of this tank is that the reload rate is obscene. There isn't a loader, it's an auto-loader, so if, you know, no matter how much crew you've got left, your reload's still going to be the same, which is nice. And it has this ridiculous JM33 round, which even now is on par with what the new tanks are getting. So the tanks in the patch are a whole rank higher. But really, all Guardian are doing are upgunning the other nations to be on the same level as Japan and France, because their shell is similar as well.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
So there's enemy in that smoke, according to the map marker that got pinged. I heard the shulker somewhere around this rock in front of us, and obviously it would be nice to get revenge on the guy that killed me. Type 90 kind of relies on its speed and mobility, and it has quite bad gun laying, so although you can play ambush tactics with it, and it probably would be more wise for me to do that at this point, to be honest. I'm trying to keep mobile just because right now I don't know exactly where they are. I don't know what the lay of the land is of the battle. I don't know how the flow's going. It's hard to really make out because they just kind of succubly rushed our cap in true Russian style. Turbine in front. Oh, did you see that third person aiming thing fucking me there?
Guide on me.
This shell is just phenomenal. Being able to upper plate Russians is so nice. Like, not having to aim for a weak spot. Never gets old. They do seem to have nerfed the post-pen damage, but if you're that close up, it's really not going to matter. I'm glad that it was a T-80 because if he hadn't had a turbine engine I'd have had less time to prepare.
Guide on me.
The other thing that's worth noting is that due to gunner parallax, he'll have been coming round the rock like at this angle that I am with this rock, and because the gun sight's on the left, if I have I think I've got a shot on this Jeep like right now, but I actually don't. I'd have hit the rock. So if he was aiming in gun sights, he'd have pushed a bit further than he actually needed to, just because he'd have been thinking, oh, you know, I don't want to fire and hit the rock and fuck it, because he's got a quicker reload than me. So he probably overextended, and that's why he didn't fire at me. So if you know the side the gun sight is on, then you can kind of exploit it to some extent. If I were him, I would have been using the third person gun sight at that range, which I did, as you saw. But some people that may be less versed with the effects of parallax can be caught out by things like that. Come on, Type 90, you fat bitch. I didn't want to knock that down, I was kind of hoping to hide behind it. Damn. You know what we've not seen? That shulker. I wonder if it died. Oh. If I'd been in any other tank then I would have had to aim for the lower plate. Especially with his upper was actually angled. His nose was up, which makes the angle even more extreme. Oh man, he was right in front of me. I didn't see him at all. There's two. That's not good. Right. It's not a GG yet, my friend. I mean, you're probably going to win, but I'm going to give it a go. Oh, really? Where was that? Man. spawn campers. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, I mean, we died every possible life we could have had, which I usually consider a bit of a failure, but 3 for 3. For me that's shockingly bad, but I feel like we explained some important sim mechanics that are worth sharing, so I'm going to keep this failure of a match in the video. So, when I get this map in RB, which admittedly I haven't played RB for a while, but I used to flank right to the northern edge of the map because there's a tree line that runs right the length of the map to their spawn. And it's very good visual cover to help you traverse the map. That's a friendly. Another Type 90, I think. But we're going to push up there, and we're going to use that to get to the east side of the map, and we're going to sit around maybe A5, which is on the lip of a hill, which should have good eyes on their spawn, and maybe their cap circle, or at least our side of it. I can hear shots to my right. I'm starting to wonder if I mis-ID'd that Type 90 as an AMX or XM1. I feel like I'm better than that, but they're popping up on the kill feed when I'm hearing shots.
Attention to the map! Attention to the map!
Let's call ourselves out. Don't want to get shot through the trees by a friendly. If you're ever in an area like this where visibility is really bad and you hear an engine, hit T41 just to let you know, let your team know that you're there, because if the other engine that you can hear happens to be on your team, it should massively reduce the chance of you being team killed or shot at. So we're not quite where I want to be yet. That's definitely a Type 90, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Attention to the designated
I wasn't going crazy. I know my tanks.
Excellent.
You'll notice that I know where the points of the terrain are on the map just from traversing them, and you know, it's a part of map knowledge that most people might not consider. But when I'm learning a map and I'm figuring out where stuff is and where to go, one of the key things that I dwell on is where can I go hold down, and where can that hold down position get eyes on. Because obviously you want to be hold down whenever you can be, because it makes the best use of your armour. But a hold down position that can't see anything is kind of, well, there's no point being there, is there? So you need to pick one. You need to, oh, here we go.
Awesome.
2400, aim to the left. Oh, I think I went high, but he died anyway. Damn it, that would have been a nice shot.
Affirmative.
But yeah, you see from here I can see that hillside over here, which if you look on the map is the dark beige colour on, let's just, zooming in doesn't help, but here, I'm basically looking there. And that's the other thing about learning a map. It's not just about getting like a visual reference. It's not about just seeing stuff and knowing what the areas look like. It's also about he just literally turned invisible. Did you see that? Let's see if he's still there. He is. Just killed an invisible tank.
Well done.
Cheers for that, Gaijin. I mean, I quite like taking the credit for killing an invisible tank, so it feels like quite an achievement, but I'd rather it not be because the game mechanics fucked me over. Anyway, what was I saying about the map? Yeah, it's not just about like knowing, oh, that hill over there, that's where enemies are. It's also knowing what that looks like on the map and what part of the map that is, because it can be quite difficult to translate the flat ground that you're physically driving on to a top-down view like this. So these are all just key features of learning sim. How are we doing? 1, 2, 3. They've both got a spawn left. 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 because he's got 2 lives. 9, 10. Or call it. Let's call it 10. Give him an extra one just so that we've. It's better to assume there's more than less. So we're working on the assumption that there's 10 of them left. We clearly have a pretty sizable numbers advantage. Oh, target. 21, so set for 23. 2250 will do. Let loose. Engine, I'll take it. Not quite used to the lead on this gun. Upper plate. I'm surprised that didn't kill him. Let's go for the driver. Terrible shot. Oh my word. Oh, someone got the kill. God damn it. I just spent like probably about 3,000 silver on that guy. Let's go for a... Damn it. Gonna try with heat because it'll actually kill him and it's free. Oh wow. You see, the oil 28 is one of those pure... for some reason it gets an air spawn in Sim as well, so he just legitimately revenge bombed me. I think if you're gonna do shit like that, you should really just fuck off back to RB, not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm a little bit salty, but tactics like that are just cheap. Oh, something over there, I think. I'm sure I just saw a flash of it. Yeah. No, that didn't layers. Oh, I just saw something move here. I'm pretty sure. Is he coming or going? That's just
Attack the A point.
wing a shot over there to get rid of the heat. If it hits him, then I'm going to set up a Patreon account just so you can send me all £1 million each. I think he probably would have got that by now. Damn it. So one of these is the heli. I'm going to guess it's this guy because he's done basically nothing. And helis that play properly and stay low to the ground generally don't get much done. Which it's going to be interesting when these changes come in. Because with SPAA being actually dangerous, they're going to have to play like that guy was, because if you sit up here like a complete dick and just sit still above the angle of a tank gun, then any SPAA will be able to kill you from basically anywhere that you're within range to shoot at the tanks. So unless helis want to die and just spend their time repairing, they're going to have to hug it, stay low. And if I were a heli, I'd sit over there somewhere and dip up and down behind those trees. You're out of the distance where you'd be able to hear the engine. But for anyone that's crossing flat ground like this, you'd get quite a lot of time to lead your shots onto target. And you minimise the chance of being spotted by radar, and you know, you can duck down and get in cover. I wonder if the radar mechanics will still track through objects, because
We've captured most of the strategic zones.
with how long the range is on the radar, I imagine you'll get that square around your target even if it's all the way over there, which is probably in excess of 5 kilometers. Can't really range it. But yeah, there's going to be major heli changes, because they just won't be able to behave in the way that they were. They'll no longer be able to just sit there and farm free kills with no risk, because there are actual threats to them now. Bad game, that. Shame that I didn't get that guy, but like I said in the first game, the post pen on this round has been really heavily nerfed, so at close range, going through thick armor like the T80 that we killed in the last game, it's not an issue, but at long range, even a T55AM managed to tank a bunch of shells that I really don't feel like it should have. Like, there was one that glanced off his turret, and I feel like that should have really spalled and killed one of his crew. But yeah, we'll do one more and then we'll call it. Oh my god, this is the worst map in the game. I mean, it's actually maybe not. I think for me it's tied with Advance to the Rhine and Shittily. But American Shit Dirt is definitely one that I hate. My gripe with small maps is that the ranges involved don't require any kind of thinking from tanks at top tier. You can literally just laser beam stuff across the map. There's no, you don't have to aim up or anything. You can just point and click. Takes a lot, pardon me, takes a lot of the skill element out of it. And they're also they're all one level. It's just all of this is just flat. So you can't make use of. Fucking shut up, you knobs.
I beg your pardon.
Fucking hate chat spammers. Let's
I beg your pardon.
nope.
Excuse me.
Lower the volume a bit more before I kill myself. So yeah, I hate the map, so we're gonna take a plane. And we're gonna also change my control so that I can actually fly the fucking thing. As I was saying, yeah, urban maps, it's not so much the aesthetic of them or the size. I mean, the size it does matter, but there are still some urban maps where you can get some pretty nice long range shots. I mean, like parts of Eastern Europe are urban, and personally I think that's the best map in the game. But it's the lack of verticality. Everything's the same level. There's no strategic use of armor, and I know that the armor matter in top tier is not quite as important as it is at like 6-7, for example, with the heavy tanks. Like there, you can actually play to your armor strengths a bit more effectively. But at top tier, you need a lot of range between you and the target to do that, and you also need to be able to limit line of sight on your weak spots. And when the ground's flat, you can't go hull down. And in tanks like the Type 90, the Challenger, the Leopard, even the Abrams, that's a death sentence. And the range is also an issue for the Russians because they're strong at long range, but it's a small map, so their mobility lets them down, and they just get flanked and shot in the side. It really just doesn't work for anyone, and it becomes far more of a luck-based result than skill, because it's largely down to whether or not you're looking in the right direction when someone comes around a corner. And without a crystal ball, that's not something that you can equate to skill. There's a bunch of helis up that I would have really liked to have been killing, but I didn't get off the ground fast enough. That's ESS, it's coming out of our spawn. There's probably either an Abrams at the front of it or a Russian that's trying to run away. Oh, he's just behind that White House. That LSU is a problem.
Oh, excellent.
We need to get the speed up and get out of his reach. They're on B again. Let's see if we can get eyes on. Oh, there he is, look on the corner. Oh, he just died. Shulker just died again. Not sure if that was the same one. They might have had multiple. I think there were two. Something's in spawn though, look. Making a run for it. He's just turned invisible. This is going to be a terrible angle for bombs. I had to kind of flick it upwards a bit so I didn't get stuck on the wrong side of that rock. I thought I'd done it a bit too far, but this bomb is just enormous. So for for reference, I consider 750 pounders to be quite sizable bombs, but that's about 340 kilograms, and these are 800. So, that, you know, a lot more comparable to something like a 2,000 pounder than. Oh, there's a heli up. Heli, where is it? It's a hind, and it killed a saber with a missile. But where the fuck is he? That's probably where the saber crashed. I had a game the other day in the Fury on Abandoned Factory, where I ended up getting, I think it was 4 heli kills, or 4 air kills, and 3 tank kills. And all the helis were missile firing ones. I spent like half the game at upwards of 600 miles an hour just circling the battle and organising shots, lining up for them and stuff. It got pretty intense, but I didn't film it live, and I don't think I could really add the correct levels of injection for the post-commentary. Where is this guy? I should really land and get another bomb. How are we doing on the ground? They've got 4, we've got 3, and I've got a Type 90 if we need backup. I need to kill this heli. There he is. He's going to be watching me, bet you anything. So, to kill helis that have missiles, you've got to come in from directly below or directly above, because if you're on the same horizontal... Shit. Fucking shulkers, man. Bit fucking late there, Leopard. Damn it. But, oh god, that's so annoying. Should have been paying more attention. This is not good at live comms. Not good at live commentary, I should say. Man, that's so annoying. But as I was saying, you've got to come in from above or below, because if you're on the same horizontal plane, they can just rotate on the spot and point directly at you. I cannot wait for this SPAA change, because helis are just going to get such a reality check. It's going to be great. I'm dead here. Wow. So they've got 3 and 2 of them are in the air, so let's just go on Cafe. I think the hind that has missiles can only carry 4 ATGMs, which means that he's got to be running out soon if he hasn't already. Jesus Christ, really? God damn it. Heat as well. Who uses heat? Who the hell uses heat? Especially on the Russians. Jesus, use HE, it's stock. The salt's flowing. Let's try and get him. He was somewhere around here. Oh, I can hear him. Aim to the left. That's their tank dealt with, so now it's just the heli, which has probably gone back to rearm, and the IL-28. They were all in aircraft.
Excellent.
How are we doing in the Type 90? Let's have a look. 42 for 137, that is not too shabby. R2Y2. Pretty good, although probably about half of those are AI in Enduring Confrontation. Maybe even more than half, but the planes are probably mostly flares, and at least 5 of those are F100s as well. This thing is just obscenely good in sim. if you know how to exploit bad pilots. And there's the victory, the W, the win. Tried to set all of them at once there, didn't really work. Hope you have enjoyed the video today, folks. I'll say that again because I don't know if you heard me. Thanks a lot for watching the video today, folks. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to let me know in the comments. I tried to focus on my reading of the battle and sim and the mechanics behind it, exploiting it to know where people would be and you know, that kind of thing. So hopefully you've picked up some tips that you can use, or if not, then hopefully you just enjoyed the carnage and pardon me, whatever else. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.